Hello, everybody. My name is Jim Farmer. I am the festival director of Out on Film, Atlanta's LGBTQ Film Festival. I'm also an arts reporter here in town. I write for Georgia Voice and a number of other publications. I'm very, very excited to be talking to writer-director Christin Baker and actress Stacey Powell, who plays Jillian of the film The Christmas Writer. The film will be actually, there was a screening of the film next week, November 21st, here in town, and then the film will be on many platforms, including telefilm. So I'm very, very excited to be talking to you both. Thanks so much.
Oh my gosh, we're so excited.
Thanks for having
I
us.
just love when Stacey's introduced as actor in the movie because it's her first one. So
Oh,
it's just
really?
Yes.
Great. That's great. Well, Kristen, tell me a little bit about how this project came up.
yeah, so I have been collaborating with Good Deed Entertainment as a distributor of their movies, and they had a couple of like lesbian holiday rom-coms that they produced and wanted to put on tello. And I just one day I was like, we should collaborate. We should do something together. And what was great is I'm always looking for a good lesbian holiday rom-com, and I happened to have one that I could send to them script-wise.
Oh,
And
great.
they loved it. Yeah. And so then we just started, digging into all the things you need to budget, location, actors, and they have just been a fantastic partner in this process.
That's great. How personal was this project for you?
I think like what was amazing was, I write, as you know, and I think we can all relate to having writer's block.
Yeah.
And I think like, also a lot of my inspiration around falling in love and, being willing to give up what you think are your dreams, definitely came from falling in love with Stacey. So the love story is like very inspired by Stacey's my fiance. So it's very inspired by like our love. And my niece plays Pepper. And so when I saw there's a role for like a young actress. I thought she would be perfect in it, and I think she does an amazing job.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think it just hits on a lot of different levels for me personally.
Talk to me a little bit about Noel, the lead here, and all that, you know, she's going through, professionally.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm very lucky that I have not experienced the loss of a parent.
yeah.
So, that's one thing I haven't experienced. But I will say when I was younger, I lived in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And I had moved across country. And when it came time for me to leave LA and move, I really felt like I was a failure. Like, I really thought, oh my gosh, like moving, giving up I was in the entertainment industry in my early 20s. And so I really resonate with Noelle and her saying, if I move home, I failed. I failed. And that like I have felt that before. I think it's a young person's thought process. Like I've done a lot of therapy and a lot of work on myself to get through that. But so I really remember that. And I've experienced writer's block at different times, and I think loss can cause that. Um, yeah, so I think that definitely is an undercurrent for her not choosing Callie so quickly. Is this idea that who is she if she's not the Christmas writer? Letting things outside of you define yourself.
Exactly. I was going to ask about Callie because I mean, like Noel has a lot going on, but then obviously she crosses paths with Callie. But let's going to talk about Callie coming into her life while she has so much else to deal with.
Yeah, yeah, it's one of those like happenstance meetings. I think, Callie just she's one of her favorite writers, and she was hoping she would come and do the competition. And I don't think Callie ever thought that she would fall for Noel. It's like, and so I think, that was she just really wanted to support the community, support these writers, and I think it was one of those instances where she took just a shot in the dark to email. So, yeah. And she's very grounded in who she is. Like Callie is very grounded. She loves where she lives. She loves her daughter. She loves her parents. And so that's kind of the yang to Noel's yin is like Callie is incredibly grounded and knows who she is.
Exactly. Stacey, tell me a little bit about Jillian.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Jillian. Well, I Jillian is so completely different from me, so I really had to tap into like what can I do to, get a backstory for this character and like really be able to go onto the set and like, kill it and so that was hard for me because it was my first big role and Kristen was busy, like, getting all the stuff ready for the movie. And I didn't want to like be bugging her, like, hey, can you run lines with me? Like, am I doing this right? So I got my kids involved and I would ask them, like, can you run lines with me right now? So that was fun. Them being able to see like this dream of mine coming true and getting to experience like me being all nervous and trying to figure out the lines and getting ready to leave to go because we had to go to Ohio to film it. So we were going to be gone for a good month. And just like really preparing for that role was exciting and fun to do with my family.
That's great. Um, when I was growing up, there wasn't much queer content at all. It's especially when you would come to the holidays and all the romantic comedies were very
Mhm.
heterosexual. So it's been a joy to see of late the fact that there can be queer, you know, rom-coms. But just sort of talk to me about why it's really important, and both of you, why it's really important to have this film right now.
Oh yeah. Do you want to go? Or you want me to go first? I think so I think I'll talk about the I think it's exciting because this year Hallmark also has a lesbian led
Yeah.
Christmas movie. And I think that is pretty groundbreaking. And I love that we have at least two that I know of lesbian holiday rom-coms for the community. But I think right now there's so much negativity, there's so much uncertainty in our lives. We were very lucky that the Supreme Court didn't take up marriage equality, but that was a very real fear.
Yeah.
I think DEI, I think there's a lot of things telling our community that you're not welcome, you're not normal, your stories don't matter. GLAD just did a report that like 41 or some percentage of LGBTQ characters won't be coming back for the next TV season. So in these times when things can seem so frustrating, like we've come so far, but there's still so much more to go. I think you need this kind of story. I think it's affirming. I think it's fine that you can see love between two people on the screen is so, so important right now.
Something that my programming colleagues talk about a lot is that when it comes to women's films, lesbian films, for the longest time, lesbians had to die.
Yes.
Mm.
He says like, we kind of went through this period where like, oh my God, please don't let oh, please don't let the main characters die. And we're still, I mean, we've sort of gotten past that, but there was a period where I felt like every lesbian film, one of the women had to die at the end. It was just mortifying, but it,
Absolutely.
it's so refreshing to see something like this.
Yes. And you're right. Jim, you couldn't be more right that that was part of the storytelling early in there. It was sort of like, are we going to live? Are we not going to live? Are we going to even end up together? So it's like, are we alive? Are we with the person that, the love story was about?
Yeah.
And even in 2016, there was a bunch of TV characters that were lesbian identified that died on screen. So it's just this bizarre cycle, I think, that comes up every so often. I'm not sure why, but one of our rules at Tello is that we don't have any project on there where the lesbian dies in the end.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure a lot of people will thank you for that. That is so refreshing.
Yeah.
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 But just tell me a little bit about Tello.
So Tello is the easiest way to describe it is like the lesbian Netflix.
Mm.
So we've been around for 18 years. We are a subscription-based video on demand company, and all of our short films, feature films, series all have lesbian leads.
Mhm.
Not they're if it's an ensemble, they might be the side characters, but there you will not see like a romance or a drama with a straight couple where the lesbian is the side character. They're always in the main part of the stories.
Stacey, I mean, what's it like working together on a project like this? And is this the first time? Is this the first time you worked professionally on a project?
Yes. I was on one of Kristen's movies about 2 years ago, but it was just a couple scenes and it was just like a morning I went on set to be there. So this is like my first true feature.
Yeah.
And I have to say, it's pretty cool working with your fiance because she's a badass director. So, I mean, I have to say, I'm definitely living the dream.
That's great. So, the film will be screening November 21st, and a lot of people like you'll both be down here for this November 21st.
Yes. We love Atlanta, so we're so excited to come down and screen this for the community down there.
So you're doing like a handful of screenings, cities throughout the country,
Mhm.
including Atlanta on the 21st, and after that, the film will be available on Tello and then some other streaming services as well.
Mhm. That's correct. You got it, Jim.
That's great. So what are you? I mean, tell me. So you mentioned you like Atlanta. Tell me a little bit about your experiences in Atlanta before.
Oh, well,
Well, one of my best friends from high school lives in Atlanta. So, and she's also a lesbian. So, we've been able to like really get to know the community there. And we've been to several of the prides, which I have to say, Atlanta Pride's like one of my favorite prides.
one of the best
Seriously,
prides.
I'm not just saying that.
Yeah.
Y'all have the best pride.
Mhm.
So we've been lucky to be able to do that. And
In fact, we have a travel show on Tello Films called Let's Go Travel Show, and we did Atlanta Pride last year.
Okay.
And we went to a second Friday and, hung out with just got to experience Pride.
That's great. That's amazing. So what are both of you working on next?
I'm in search of another holiday rom-com to film and have ready for next year. And then I have a movie called Viv that's a action thriller that is still in post-production. And
I'm the host of the travel show, Let's Go Travel Show. And we are working on the next episode that will be coming out on Tello Films in December. And it is all about going to Italy.
yeah,
We got to recently go to Italy and we can't wait to share our experience.
That is great.
Yeah.
Thank both of you for taking the time to talk to me. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Look forward.
Thank you.
Look forward
Thanks,
to seeing,
Jim.
absolutely. Look forward to seeing you on November 21st. For
Yes.
You'll both be there. It should be a great screening and Q&A. So thank you both for making the film and for talking to us today.
Thank you so much.
you.
Thanks for your support.
Absolutely. We'll talk to y'all soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much.